So finally it's time for a bit more action on The Crew. Let's see what it's all about. Hello viewers today. Well, today I'm in the sunny climate of Paris, investigating the city and seeing a little bit of The Crew in action. I'll shortly be popping in here, seeing the game, how it's progressed to date, as well as answering a few of your questions. But first, I need a bit of gameplay action, refresh myself from where we've come to date. Let's go in and take a look. So The Crew, we've seen a lot of it for over a year now, and you can see some of the clips here that we were showing from E3 last year, working on the iPad, to racing around New York. Incredible detail on some of these objects given the size of the map, triple screen gameplay, interviewing the developers, finding out the scale and what it's all going to be about, and of course looking at the map as well, which I was amazed by the map and the amount of detail they're putting in there. But now we're going to go in, we're going to take a look, see what it's all about. We had this nice car there, moving in, finding where I'm going to be sitting, all the lucky journalists. Leaning over there, that's Eurogamer beavering away. All the journalists getting the content that you're going to be seeing online. And look at some of the different cars that are featured, but also the cars in a different tuning setup. Sitting down and now getting a bit of advice, tutorage from one of the developers who's telling me how to play the game, things to look out for on the map, how to use the map. We have a very short space of time. Trying out some of the different modes and the mini challenges you're going to find along the way, which are all good fun, and they're just things to do between A and B as you find your way around this huge map, and different things are on offer. But first I have an interview with the game director Fergus, and he'll tell us more. Hello viewers, well now I'm joined by Fergus, who's the game director Ivory Tower, of course working on The Crew, and we're going to learn a bit about your background first. I think how we've come to The Crew. It's a massive project, massive involvement, years of technology. Just firstly, how did you get into the games industry, get to a point where you were developing your own studio?
I will go very far away in my mind, for sure. It started a very long time ago when I was a child, on Amiga, for sure. I started developing on Amiga, and I was a demo maker, and I was 10 years old, so it's a long time ago. But really, I grew up all with this idea: I want to create game. I like cars, I like games, and it's why I always try to do things around that during all my career. I joined Eden Studio to create V-Rally. I joined after Ivory and create Ivory for that and create The Crew for that. And it's true, during all my career, V-Rally, TDU, The Crew, it's always something that evolved. On track, open world for TDU, and now The Crew, RPG, open world, everything is going in my mind for a long time now.
Well, it's funny you mentioned, because V-Rally at the time, I don't know, it had like 70 rally stages or something huge like that. You know, it was very big and ambitious. Then you went on to Test Drive, very big and ambitious experience. And many of our viewers will know that, they played it regularly. Now we go to The Crew, and what we're looking for is something that combines all the best bits of Test Drive, but with better graphics, more action. Taking this forward, when you sat down and you said, we're going to make The Crew, what was the first points you had to tick? What were the first key aspects?
The key aspect, because TDU was a real draft for us, so it was to create this technology to be able to create the USA. Create the USA is something very ambitious, and thanks to Ubisoft, they give us the time to create all the technology to create this big world, but not a generic world, not a procedural world that when you go everywhere it's always the same thing. No, it's always different each time you go somewhere. So to create this technology, it took us 3 years, something like that, and now we call that Babel, and we can generate the USA in one night and edit and modify it during the day, generate during the night, and come back later and you've seen your modification. It's awesome.
So the first part then is designing this amazing technology that lets you create the game, then building on it and saying there were things that were missing that I wanted to include. What was an example of some of those key things?
One of the key things is the online aspect. I always like to play with somebody else. I need to be with somebody to share the experience, not only in the competitive aspect, but something that every game does. And I need to share this moment, and it's why all the online and social aspect is very important, and to bring it inside the game, it was very tough also. It takes a long time. But now, in the crew, you can share the moment, share the world, and share this MMO RPG aspect with your friends, and go everywhere when you want with everybody, and play any part, any activity of the game with your friend. They are always there.
Well, I've been having a quick go today. I'll be looking to explore the map and doing a lot of free drives. I love the idea of that in test drive. I like the way the crew has that. Of all the new elements then, just to finish on new elements that you've got, what's the bit that you've enjoyed the most and you're most proud of just within development so far?
It's the exploration, really. That's something that it's inside my DNA. It's inside the DNA of the game. And when you go inside the world for the first time and you see the mountain and you say, okay, you can go to the mountain. That's not just a fake background or things like that. No, this is the world. This is your world. No loading time. You go everywhere in every aspect. And for me, this moment, it's really very unique, and sharing this with my friends, it's superb. That's really this moment like that when you drive with your friends, going anywhere but everywhere at the same time. So that's magnific.
Well, brilliant. Thank you very much for your time. Look forward to future development.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Win this or they'll kill us all.
Action and drama there's going to be in the one-player mode. As you can tell, it all gets quite serious by the sound of it. There is a one-player game, there's a story mode to it, and you can see here some visuals. Again, these are the new visuals. It's moved on away since we saw it last year. Just lots of refinements in terms of lighting and texture detail, but a lot of it was there, especially in some of the areas they'd already done. You see New York there. Nice sunlight effects. And so what's the first thing you're going to do? Well, you're going to play some one-player races, get a feel for the car, how to get upgrades. Now we're on to multiplayer sessions, and again this looks much more detailed now. Driving through fields on the dirt racing style. I really like this off-road racing. I like the feel of it and the sort of bouncing on suspension. It's not easy to drive, it's not easy to be perfect with straight away. Sometimes less is more in terms of steering input on these big bouncy buggies, but I certainly enjoyed the comparison between the off-road and the racetrack equivalent from daytime to nighttime and the streets of New York City. So much to see and explore, and then of course after that there was onto some online races which we had as well. And having some fun in the Lamborghinis. That's all the guys in the room there racing each other. I was sort of hanging at the back on this one because I knew there was going to be pile-ups ahead of me, and I just figured, hey, I'm going to hang back for a moment, let them pull away, and then gradually overtake them as they all fall off the track, which pretty much did happen. You'll see a few guys here flying by. Disaster any second, but it's nice to see all the sparks between the cars. So much to do online, lots still to be revealed to you guys. There we go, that was the favourite who had the most powerful car who just fell out the race. He was not happy. As I continue on my way, and then after that a bit more exploration, driving around different parts of, I think, the outskirts of New York somewhere. Besides the many races that are on offer and activities, lots to see and do and lots to discover. If you've played Test Drive Unlimited, you know there's lots to discover. But let's look under the bonnet, or the hood, for our American fans, American viewers. And you can see this is where the game has much more detail. There's 11 different parts on the car you can upgrade. Lots here, you know, the detail, you can see all the parts working, you can see how they affect your car. Your car comes in, I believe, 5 different states, from street racing to off-road dirt racing to sports car sort of level, and there's lots you can do to tweak and tune, and it's about finding the jigsaw of the right parts that fit together. Now the game has 3 handling models. It has a basic handling model, a medium, and then a hardcore. I was driving the hardcore throughout on all of my races, and it's much better. You know, I do look forward to testing it with a steering wheel, because obviously I use a wheel all the time. I get a lot more from that in terms of depth of handling. but certainly you can see from this shot here, you fit new parts and then you can demo the car, you can see the performance of it. I wasn't able to test all of this out at the time to see just how far this went in terms of sensitivity, but certainly you can see the parts modelled, they're all in great detail, and I think it's just testament to the development team that they've gone to this level of detail to show next generation upgrades and what you can look forward to. And of course, once you fitted your part, demo mode on, spin the wheels and see how it sounds, see how it looks, and then get racing. And of course you can see again different environments, different lighting effects. I mean, think of the scale. You know, I don't know what this is in comparison to Test Drive Unlimited 2, but it's big. So when you look at the detail in the environments and you consider the scale of the environments, it's a remarkable job. And of course, to finish the day, what better than just going for a drive? I just went for a long drive exploring the map, and you can expect more of that from me once I eventually get hold of the game later this year. If you enjoyed my test drive coverage, then you'll know what to expect. Lots of random driving and lots to look forward to there. But that's it, my thoughts for the day. Hello viewers, well I've been playing the Crew today, so you've seen some footage, you've seen a brief interview, and of course it's looking good at the moment. Expansive landscapes, huge to drive across, so many different cars, so many different challenges, so many options for tuning your car with the relevant parts, etc. There's a lot to explore and discover, and we're still seeing just an early version at the moment. So I'll be keeping a very close eye on it. It takes all the best from, say, Need for Speed, but also from Test Drive, and also with certainly a handling model that has more depth to it with the hardcore handling model that's available. I like this a lot. I mean, viewers who have been watching my channel for a long time will remember the Test Drive Unlimited videos from years ago. I had a lot of fun on it. The game wasn't great. The graphics were awful, but it was fun. What if we had a game where it handled better, had better graphics, had more to explore, plus all the depth required as well? That's what we've got here. We've kind of got the dream test drive scenario coming together. And certainly I'd welcome your feedback if there are elements you'd like to see in the game at this stage as well. It's always important to know if there's things that developers are missing, but on the whole, there's so much to see, do and explore. I'm liking what I'm seeing. And the process that's gone into it, you know, 6 years of development has gone into the Crew so far, into making it this sort of dream world for racing fans. And it's showing, but it's still very early. There's still lots that we can't talk about, and there's still lots that the developers can't talk about, and there's lots to be revealed. But I, for one, am very excited at what they've got coming together here at the moment. I think it's one of the most exciting developments in racing at the moment, to try something new, to expand the environments and what there is to discover. But as ever, there'll be more Crew content coming in the coming months, and more from me very soon.